Welcome to the One More Thing Tech Podcast. So, we are at season 2 right now, and we're bringing back Chase for this episode because it's been a bit. I mean, it's been months, and we've been trying to get Chase back on for a while now. He's been really busy, and so have we actually. So, it's just been kind of a disconnect, but it's okay. It's not a big problem at all. We brought him back today. I'm your host, Adam, and this is Chase, and this is Quasey.
Hi.
Okay.
What's
How's it
up,
going, everybody?
Is my mic working?
Yes.
Heck yeah,
That's
dude.
a very good thing that it does work,
Okay,
though.
wonderful.
For sure. We're going to dive right into it today because there's a lot of good topics. I'm sure we'll have lots of great discussion today. So I'll start with the very first one. This is going to be a really good kind of intro because, well, Chase has some glasses on. That is a kind of a segue into this. So it's kind of a good thing.
It's kind of cool.
So the very first one is we've been hearing for just years that Apple's working on some Apple glasses. Not just like the Vision Pro, but some glasses that are like the Meta Ray-Bans. It's probably the direct competitor that they're trying to compete with. And now we're seeing that they're going to make some adjustments with these, and not in a bad way. There's going to be multiple variations of these, prescriptions as well, and they're going to have more of like not an interface you can see through the glasses, like notifications and such, but like just talk to Siri and use your cameras to record stuff, kind of like the Meta Ray-Bans essentially. So I just want to get your guys' take on this because it's a different sector for Apple, for sure, in this market. And to tell Meta, we got it, it's going to be just a interesting take on things. Chase, can you just give us your vibe on what you think of these? And is it something that you're looking into maybe purchasing when they come out, if it's a good price, of course, and just go from there?
I think we're finally in the form factor that makes stuff like this interesting. We're finally in a place I'm like, maybe I could see some like Apple glasses as a daily driver of like, I wear these into work, it help, we all know, like, I'm like direct quote their stuff. I mean, this is a combination of like AirPods and Apple Watch, and if you see me around, I got both the things rocking, right? So the thought process that we could kind of combine those and put them into glasses, great. I don't know that I love how obvious some of it looks, in the sense of like, I don't necessarily need cameras blocking off the side of my head, right? There's some of that still that I'm like, you know what? I'm so clearly wearing an Apple product, I don't know. But if you're asking me if I'm going to make my way to an Apple store and put some on and see how they work, it won't take me very long to get up there, because I think these, I think we are like finally, it's like, I do not need to be wearing goggles, but if we're talking like we're getting close, I don't know, like I could see this being a function for day to day that could be very useful.
Sure.
And Quasey, what are your thoughts?
Hey, yeah, so like Jay said, all right, so right now, obviously Meta's number one in that space. They have the Ray-Bans and then they have the Oakleys, right? And there's also probably some other companies that are doing some similar stuff, but obviously everybody knows Apple waits to do it because they're trying to do it right, if that makes sense, right? They want to do it the best way they possibly can. And I'm more than happy waiting. Like, it's like the Spider-Verse movie. Right? Beyond the Spider-Verse was supposed to come out 3 years ago at this point, right? It was in 2024 that I had watched Across the Spider-Verse. They told me it was coming the next summer, right? It did not come the next summer. But I'd rather not have a trash thing and wait like an extra, 2 years. Like Chase said, I'll be in the front of those lines, right? It's not going to take me very long to get to the Apple Store to try those on. Unfortunately, it took me a really long time to try on the Vision Pro, and I realized my eyes aren't doing enough. You know what I mean? So I need to just keep decking out myself with technology so that I can be, more in tune with my environment, but at the same time more in tune with my new technology, if that makes sense.
So one thing I wanted to bring up, though, is what we don't really know quite yet is Apple's approach to enter the sunglasses and prescription market, or just do prescriptions to start out with. Because as of right now, I don't really see any leaks indicating that it's going to be anything besides prescription to start with. which is okay. But it also seems like a very weird entry point to just turn off the sunglass market as an entry because I don't wear glasses, at least yet. So to me, I wonder if that's what their play is to do both of them because Meta does that now. It's weird because they have a new version of their prescription glasses they just came out with, and that's a big push for things because then you can wear them all day long. And I'm just curious though. I'm just curious what their play here is because it does take out a big section of the market if you don't have the sunglass function of it. So what do you guys think of that?
I mean, I don't really wear sunglasses on the regular, right? It's got to be a special occasion for me. Like I'm putting on sunglasses strictly for style, right? I'm wearing a nice suit. I got to get me some aviators. You know what I mean? I have to be absolutely just stunning on everybody. But in my day-to-day life, I'm not wearing sunglasses that often, especially not in this state. All right, the sun's not out enough in this state. Granted, it's coming out a little bit right now, but it's entirely too cold 90% of the time to be wearing sunglasses and not wearing something else like earmuffs. Right. So the sunglasses thing, I don't really mind it, right? Uh I've had fake glasses before and I think I look really good with fake glasses, but you can't it would like like the thing is if they were transitions, I could get that, right? But who's going inside and keeping their sunglasses on? Somebody you can't trust, right? And I don't know about you, but I want to look very trustworthy everywhere I go. That way I can con people into stuff. You know what I mean? Don't quote me on that. I should take
No,
that
you're
part
on
out where I
record.
said con people. but,
No, that's
but
staying for
yeah.
sure.
And Chase, you have any
I
comments with
I
that?
think, if you had to pick one, right? And it was either prescription, clear frame, like clear lenses or sunglasses, I think you got to go with the clears. And I think the point is I would wear these at work, right? I'd rather see them say we're putting blue light blocker in all of them.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
this is your office pair of glasses, right? You're going to go in, I'm going to leave them at my desk to charge all night, not wearing them home, and then when I come in for the day, I'm going to throw my glasses on, whether they're prescription or not. Like you could have some without prescription in it. I could get them with my prescription in it, which honestly would be awesome because obviously sometimes I wear my glasses, other days I wear contacts. But it would be nice
Oh, I
just to
thought you
throw
were
those
just
things
blind
on.
other days.
Nah, man. I'm blind enough that like I'll take the help. But yeah, if you had to pick one, I would pick this. And I'm with Quasi. Like if I'm gonna have sunglasses that are smart glasses like these, it would be awesome if they were transitions. It's like walk outside. But as somebody who wore transition lenses as like a college student and high school student, dude, the transition to walk inside is like the worst thing. Transition lenses have never had it right. You walk in
So
and you're in the
far.
dark for like 10 minutes. You just like look like a doofus. Now, we're adding technology to glasses and there's other sensors in it. So there could be a technology of transition lens that is much more like the reflective mirrors in our car that's responsive to a actual technological light sensor. Dude, if they would transition like in a flash, I'm just
that'd be
saying
really
now they're
cool.
breaking into a market that just is frustrated with their transition lenses. And then they're like, oh, well, now my glasses also play music, but at least my transitions are faster. But I'm with Quasi. I would take a regular prescription lens over a sunglass if I could only choose one. Because when I wear
Makes
my
sense.
sunglasses, I'm driving, I'm out at what like I have
That is
other ways
another
to be
thing I do
listening
with
to music and
sunglasses.
other things to do. So
So here's something that it's just a good point to bring up with it, though. So if they go the route of a non-sunglass set of glasses that are smart, so now let's say that are you more saying prescriptions or just like a blue light where those who don't wear glasses are going to wear them too? What more are you saying, Chase or Inquasi?
I think both. I think that like if I was buying them, I would have a really hard time choosing because like I would want a non-prescription so I could just throw them on over my contacts, which would be awesome. But also having my my regular glasses be smart glasses, I mean, it's kind of a win-win. I could see both markets taking off, honestly.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
go ahead, Quasi.
Okay, so
Sorry.
yeah, definitely. I'm with Chase there. Definitely the regular ones because obviously I'm blessed enough to not be blind, right? So I wouldn't have a market for them if they're only prescription. I wouldn't have a reason to buy them. But if they're like blue light blockers or heck, if they're even just regular lenses, that's something I can get behind, right? It's gonna add something. It's an accessory to add to my facial structure, which is, a facial structure of all time. It's not, the best, not the worst. It's one of them, right? But I just think it'd be a cool accessory to have, and I won't get it if it's like the worst prescription in the world, or if you need a prescription to get it.
Here's a point I want to make with things though. If they're so, Tim Cook has said several times that the Vision Pro is an all day use product. We know that's not the case for most people, right? And if there is people using it, great. Not bash them at all. But this is a kind of product that, if it's prescription or blue light, that could be worn all day in a workplace. But here's the thing with that. Are they going to put in a battery that's not too heavy to make it all day use? Or is it just going to die at some point? Now they're just normal glasses, right? And then to use the smart function, you have to then charge it for, like, I'm guessing, 30, 40 minutes. Like, is that going to be an issue, you think, overall, if they don't make that an all day lasting device? Or is it going to just be, I'll just pop in the charger for a little while and then I'll just put them back on?
I think this is an argument for them to be primarily blue light blockers with a dock. I walk away from my desk, I'll drop them. And then they are all day. If I'm just picking them up when I'm at my computer and they're an awesome AirPod that reads my stuff, but now we're getting into the, like, should I really have them? Right? Like, if that's what they do and their battery isn't, like, I'm going to sit here and argue with myself, right? If all my glasses are good for is to be a companion to my laptop, I promise you the price point will not be good enough.
What if they're only like $800?
What do you mean only $800? I'm never using the camera if I'm sitting at my desk.
Okay, but here's the thing, right? Let's say you primarily use them at your desk, but you're going on a trip to, I don't know, Barbados, right? You're going to pick up those glasses and take them with you, right? Especially because they have that camera feature. You're going to want those, like, you don't want those
You're telling me you don't want
shots.
sunglasses in Barbados?
No, I won't.
You're telling me you're going to choose these over wearing sunglasses in Barbados?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Nah.
Right? I want people to know that I'm staring. See, here's the thing, right? A lot of people don't want people to know that they're staring at them. If you see me on the subway in Chicago, I'm staring dead at people. I'm like this.
Bro, you got cameras on the side of your glasses. You're clearly staring at everybody.
I
You don't need
mean,
to see your eyes to know
Well,
that. You have glasses. You have glasses that have cameras with indicator lights on them. We know.
yeah, no, I remember people used to block off the indicator lights, and I can see both sides to it. Like having a red light on your head is not the most, attractive thing in the world. Let's be honest here, right? So I can see, but then again, people will probably want to know if they're being recorded. Maybe you wear a T-shirt that says you may or may not be being recorded right now.
You're going to wear that every day?
Absolutely not.
Now, this is
Nobody.
I will say
if I'm
the
recording.
indicator light, as ugly as it potentially could be, right in line with all of Apple's privacy things. They're not going to be out here recording people without people knowing. Like, they're going to now.
Well, their phones don't do anything like that at all, though. Just keep that in mind.
Definitely not. That's why I don't get ads that just are things that I talked about and not things I recorded or searched. You're right. It's not recording me ever.
Oh yeah.
So, I mean, yeah. I think overall, though, this is a great market to get into if I'm Apple, for sure. Especially when Tim Cook wears glasses. I mean, imagine he just swaps them out. You don't even know that they're Apple glasses in the next keynote.
Yeah, he probably already did it.
Yeah, I'm sure he's testing them along with some people at Apple right now. But right now, here's the expected launch date is 2027 in the spring or summer. So that's going to be like dub time around there, which is an interesting kind of timeline to release these. That's not that far away at all.
This is true.
We have a CAD, but this is not official, so don't even want to show it right now. It's just not something we're comfortable sharing because it's not confirmed by anybody. There's not anybody that has the CAD files this yet, probably because they haven't even completed that yet. They have a lot of time to make this still. Now, one thing I will say this too, to mention this. It was interesting to me with the Meta Ray-Bans that as expensive as they are as a smart glass product, their prescription part of it is actually more reasonable than you can ever imagine. So like, if I'm correct, I think it was like $50 to $100 extra to get your prescriptions on these glasses, which those who wear glasses will tell you is a significantly cheaper price than going to like, Sunglass Hut or whatever to get your prescriptions, because they're just outrageously expensive. So that's one thing to note, that it's expensive, this is a cheaper option overall for people that wear glasses. And I'm just curious if they're going to kind of follow that suit as Meta Ray-Ban has, because it's weird to even hear the phrase Ray-Bans and affordable in the same sense, because they're usually really expensive. But it's a different type of approach that people were not expecting with them to do. What are your thoughts about that, guys?
I mean, yeah, it's definitely a different approach, but no,
is Apple going to follow suit though? Are they going to do the same thing? Are they going to just charge outrageous rates? I don't know. What are they going to partner with somebody to do their own like that? These are all good questions.
What's the most high end glasses brand? Is it not Ray-Ban?
Well, Luxottica owns like most of them. Just so you
Don't know who that is.
It's a company they don't want you to know who they are. They seek out and they go buy major glasses and sunglass brands like Oakley, Ray-Bans, Lens Correctors, a bunch of these other places. And what they do is it could be a place that charges like not a lot for glasses. They come in, they buy them out, and they just completely raise the prices to obscene amount of money. So they're really good at doing that. And that's probably the biggest reason why these are outrageously priced. I don't see Apple selling out to them at all. So that's a different, approach with things. Even the Meta Ray-Bans. The glasses side is Luxottica, and Meta is the software side of it. So I don't know how that's gonna be overall. But any thoughts with this?
Doesn't look like it. It looks like you've summed it up pretty well.
I mean, like, I look at it and I go, it would be awesome if Apple made their prescription to be affordable. I think affordable is going to have more to do with how much the glasses cost than how much the prescription is. Like let's say these are $800 glasses. Okay, so they're $900 for me to put my prescription in it. I'm never going to think those are affordable glasses, like for a prescription glasses. Like the glasses I'm wearing right now were $40.
Well, compared to the major brands,
I don't buy them in the store. I buy them online, and they're like, I buy them cheap. I am on the cheap end because I don't wear them every day. So I don't buy a couple $100 glasses because they're not my daily drivers, right? Like I wear them occasionally. I wear contacts the other amount of time. So mine are cheap. Mine are not a great, like you're in a $200 mark for prescription glasses pretty easy, right? Now here's the question. Apple, are you going to accept my insurance to cover my prescription lenses?
Ooh, good point.
Maybe not the technology, but the lens, right?
Do they cover the prescription lenses in the Vision Pro?
Well, I don't know.
Well, let me do some research for you guys real quick.
I'm just saying, like technically these are just glass lenses, right? So they could be covered by your vision insurance, and I don't see why you wouldn't try to be doing that. I mean, there's no screens in them. Like they're not like this is not a Vision Pro Mini, right? Like as much as I would love that, like put my notifications in visual on my glasses, please. Like I don't need the whole thing, but like I would take a readout on there.
Oh yeah.
Wouldn't you guys take a heads-up display on your glasses?
No,
I don't need the whole thing. Like I understand that like we are not anywhere close to like having the whole Vision Pro chip in there in glasses because like you don't have enough battery for that. They don't have enough battery for it in a regular Vision Pro, right? Dude, just a little readout that would show up. I'm just saying that for me, I'm waiting for that to show up. I'm not saying that would cause me to buy these versus not having it, but I'm like, part of the excitement for this is I see this as the precursor of when technology gets there that we have batteries that are small enough and chips that are small enough, I know we're at chips that are small enough, obviously, but like once we have all of that stuff small enough that some of those features can show up in glasses, I don't really expect all of them to be there. But now we're getting really interesting, right? So
yeah, but like,
I think for the time being, like when it's just putting regular lenses in smart frames, which is what we're talking about, Apple, I'm just saying, you better get with some vision insurance, because if people could knock off the prescription part, dude, if you could find a way to get the whole glasses covered, I'm just saying, people would start switching.
Yeah. HSA, approved and whatnot too. Be great.
What that is, but okay.
Health savings account.
I'm young enough to not have my own insurance
I feel like an HSA approved would be an easy thing for them to pull off.
I think so too.
I mean, with the fact that you can get like, smart rings and other things with your HSA these days, like
you can get a pillow through it. So why would you not be able to get something that you actually need to have for most people, right? Good point. Okay. We didn't really talk about who does what for the next topic, so you want to go next, Quasey?
Yeah, I mean, I'll take the next topic.
Our prep time was not good this morning.
You don't tell the fans that.
That's okay.
Now, we're all about being real around here.
I was being real.
We are being real around here.
It's not a bad thing. We just had some... We had some things happen this morning, so just a little bit delayed.
Yeah. Okay, so if you guys remember last week, we talked about the new Vision. We're not talking about Vision. The new iPhone Fold leaks. We talked about iPhone Fold leaks because we were talking about what was it, OnePlus, or it was Oppo. Oppo had a nice foldable phone, right? So we started talking about the iPhone leaks. And if you remember, back in 2018, Huawei was banned from the US, right? They were considered some sort of spyware, and now in the US, you can no longer buy a Huawei phone. So this is not going to mean a lot to a lot of people, but that same aspect ratio that I was telling you about last week, the one that's coming up in the new iPhone Fold, is being seen already on that Huawei phone, right? It looks like that short, stocky build that's going to open up to like the size of an iPad, right? It's going to be those dimensions, and we're actually seeing that. Or we saw. Oh, somebody wants me to do something here. Let me do this for them. I'm just going to show you guys all in person here. Ooh. This is what it looks like, right? Just imagine this as an iPhone with not these cameras, because I'm not entirely sure what's going on with this tiny lens up here. But this is what it looks like according to Mac Rumors, this new Huawei phone. And as you can see here, the time is 8:08, and that's the only thing that's in English, with the exception of Ximage. So I'm not going to comment too much on it. The article didn't provide us with any other specs. We don't know how great this phone is, but assuming that it's on the Huawei brand, it's probably pretty good, right? We've seen them do some great things, and that's actually why they got banned, because they were going to be too good in the US. So, and then we'd have all of our national secrets leaked. So that's unfortunate, but yeah, it's nice. Thoughts?
Go ahead, Chase.
We
haven't had Chase's, overall what he thinks about the Fold. I don't think I even talked to him in person about this yet, so we're getting this live.
Guys, I'm gonna sound.
Okay, you don't have to love it.
I'm gonna tell you, I don't love a Fold. I haven't seen a Fold that I'm ready to have. And here's the deal. Because of that, I'm all about innovation in the world of Fold, because I know people like them, right? But one, I don't need my phone to get any bigger than it does.
This is true.
I have an iPad. And you know what I use the least of all my devices? My iPad. I go from phone to computer all the time. Don't come at me, Quasey.
Oh.
Yeah,
you must
what are
not
you
have
doing
an
watching?
iPad mini. That's what it is. You have too big of an iPad. Go get you an iPad mini. I promise you'll use it every day.
I'll use it every day instead of the phone that I have?
Correct. I put my phone down when I'm at home, and I exclusively use my iPad Mini.
Yeah.
Which
Okay.
phone do you
Well,
have again, Chase? Just
I
because I
have
completely forgot.
I have the 17 Pro. No
A
Max,
Pro Max. Okay.
just Pro.
Okay.
And I don't need it to be any bigger. If I'm watching a movie, I have a TV. If I'm
Not
doing
with you all the time,
advanced
though,
stuff,
Chase.
yeah, okay, then I'll watch it on my phone. How often do you think I'm watching movies on the go?
Yeah, no, that's
I'm
not a
just saying.
crazy
And
take.
I go to work and I got dual monitors with my laptop. I'm not plugging in my iPad. Now, this is not about whether or not the iPad is useful in my day to day, because I have very specific uses that I use my iPad for all the time.
So why'd
Like,
you buy one? What do you
what?
use your iPad for?
I use my iPad for like all things music. So anytime that I'm playing guitar or drums or any of those things, it's where I
Oh,
like have charts.
you
It's where
play
I
guitar and drums?
heck yeah, dude.
Dude,
Heck
that's
yeah, dude.
awesome.
So here's the deal. I love my iPad, but it's the least amount thing that I use. So don't hear me bashing the iPad. I just think of the ecosystem, it's my least used thing. So, all of that to say, do I need a foldable phone? No. Do I need my phone to be thicker when it's in my pocket? No. Do I need my screen to get bigger? No. So, I don't necessarily think the fold is for me. Now, I understand its draw, right? And I kind of like this form factor in the sense of I think the unfolded version is a nice ratio. And I think you were talking about that, right? Because right now it's like you either get a really thin phone because you want it to like open up to like a normal feeling thing, or you get this funny half situation that feels like a brick. You know, it's like super thick. So I don't know. I think I can get behind it for some people. I won't be buying one. But for you iPad lovers, maybe it's for you.
Yeah,
Okay. I gotta. I'm with Chase, and I still think I will not be getting the fold, at least this year. And here's why. For me, I'm so used to like pulling my phone out of my pocket and then it's just there, right? I unlock, I'm in. Now it's gonna be one extra step of like opening like a book, which to me, now I get that there's an outside screen that you don't have to even do that with. I understand it completely, but at the same time, why would you get a fold to not open up and see that big of a screen? That makes no sense to me. So there's that part of it. Now, the other part is this. I'm petrified that screen, petrified. If I drop that phone while in open state, what's going to happen? Because we know now how great most phones are for having the glass not shatter. You have to really do a big drop test like on rocks or something really crazy for it to break. I have no clue with the iPhone how that's going to work with this. I am not sure if today we've mastered screen technology where it's so durable that like you have to like walk into some spikes or get shot by, a 50 cal for it to break, whatever it takes. What I'm saying though is, as of right now, I also fear that the open and close on a constant basis, because you can do this quite a bit, is going to cause issues to that screen eventually, right? It's one more mechanism to fail. There's dirt that can get into the creases, all this other stuff, right? So there's that. My biggest thing is, though, the price point is going to be so out there. Like, I paid just about $2,000 for my phone now, and it's a crazy world that we live in. That's the price of a phone now. But it does so much for us, right? I mean, I'm to the point where if I go to Amazon.com on a computer, it's just weird to me because I usually buy my phone mostly for that purpose, right? Or most things. So when I see this kind of device, I'm excited for it, but I guess for me, I'm more excited to see what Apple does for a fold. There's so much competition in the market. There's the Google Pixels, there's the Samsung Folds and Trifolds and Oppo and various other places, right? I just want to see what Apple does. Do they solve things that other people have an issue with right now with a fold? Is the crease visible? How is that processor going to be? I think it's going to be like an M1 chip in a fold. Who knows? Because it's going to be that much of a powerful chip. Who knows? I guess for me, I just want to say, do they do it right? Is their first generation of this product line going to just be awesome? Vision Pro, it came out, absolutely pinnacle example of a great engineering feat and an amazing everything for specs and the whole works, right? Is this category going to follow that suit? Is my question. So that's more what I'm excited for. I mean, at the end of the day, do I kind of want one? Yeah, just so I can try it out and see and test it. But am I ready to make that leap into this is my device now? I'm not there yet. And people would argue with me to this day, why would you not want to get a fold? It does more, it's great, the screen's better, all this stuff, right? I don't know if I'm old fashioned.
Bigger.
Bigger's not always better.
I cannot imagine it would be worse. Apple doesn't go backwards in screen tech. They just don't.
Here's another question I have about fold people. I want to know how often you're using your phone with one hand versus two. And here's why I ask. Do you know how often I will show my goofy right now in the sense of like, I pull my phone out and it's one hand because I got stuff in my other hand. You know how often I'm using my Apple Watch with my nose? If you don't ever touch your Apple Watch with your nose, you are not busy enough. Probably.
Even though I can do this, right? I can do a little this. Oh, I still touch it. I still do it.
I'm poking my Apple Watch with my nose all the time because there's things in my other hand. Right? Now, am I like operating it like that? No. What did you say?
You can still like view things with one hand.
Y'all don't use the little tap gesture or like the fist thing?
Chase, I'll ask you this. Does that work for you all the time? Or do you have issues with doing anything?
No, I sit there and do this for a good 5 minutes before
it people think I'm spazzing out. I'm just not. I'm just trying this just to go away. Well, I don't want to like that post on Twitter, whatever.
No, sorry, here's my point with the fold. We all see these like nostalgic, like remember when we had a Razr and the flip phone was cool. This flip phone's not going to flip open like that. It's a screen that folds. Like you don't want it to. You don't want to slide your thumb over there and be able to go flip and now your phone's open. Like you don't want that for durability, but I want that for functionality.
Yeah.
Right? And so that's another reason, like for me, it's like I want to be able to pull out my phone with one hand and get the job done. If I need two hands to do something, like I'm going to a bigger device because now it's like I'm bought in. So I'm not saying I never use my phone with two hands because that would be just ridiculous for me to say. But I feel like the fold.
Primarily doing that.
What?
You're not primarily using it with two hands. That's
no.
Like a phone is mostly a one-handed device. I'm not taking it out to unless I'm playing video games like this.
Well, sometimes when you text though, I mean, I can text with one hand, but not as effective.
You don't kind of just swipe to text.
I am just not.
Am I the only one who does that?
I can do it, but I find way more like errors and words that shouldn't be there.
It's pretty accurate once it learns the words you like to use. Right, you just got to do it for a while, and then it'll start to pick up. Oh, he didn't mean to say number there. He meant to say numerator. I don't use the word numerator in my texts, to be quite honest with you, but I couldn't think of anything else.
So that's a good point.
Bro's
One
thing
too that I just not thought of this. If you buy screen protectors, now it's going to cost more. Now there's 2 of them for your phone, maybe 3 of this camera bump.
If they can't make a foldable screen protector, I'm gonna have to have a crease in my screen protector.
I would 100% get a screen protector if I had to fold. It wouldn't even be a discussion.
No, I'm saying like, is it gonna have a break in it?
You just the same
or is it gonna fold?
It's gonna fold.
That mean it's gonna crease up?
To be honest with you, how that works now with the current generation of folds out there.
Don't worry, guys.
You're bringing up a great point.
It up.
Pretty sure it folds with it, right? I mean, if we can make a screen do that, a screen protector has to also follow suit, right?
So this one that I'm looking at, it kind of looks like that, but I'm not entirely sure. Let's go check the Best Buy website.
It is Zag. That's one, or is it just literally?
I think it's like 3 individual sheets of glass.
Okay.
Or maybe it's 1 sheet of glass that just goes on the front. You don't protect the outside of the screen is what it looks like to me.
which is crazy.
Why? That would make me sick to my stomach.
The
here
screen
we
that's
go.
always out and in my pocket. The only reason I put a screen protector on my iPhone right now is because the most
There you
dangerous
go.
thing to it is my pocket.
Why is
This is
a
true.
third party just solve that issue? Okay, so you
I
have
think
that.
it does fold.
Okay, so it folds.
I mean, to me, you're going to spend close to $3,000 on a device like this, right? $2 to $3,000. I just don't know why you would not have a screen protector. Let alone those people that have no cases. That's another
But don't even.
despicable thing that, or they
Dude,
have a
if
case
you're
and they just
daily
take it off
driving
because
no
they want to
case,
take it off.
hey bud, that sounds like an attack.
But
That
it's like
sounds. I took off my
clothes.
case once.
It's like clothes. You should really have them on at all times, unless you go in the shower. Just saying, like you shouldn't be walking
That's
out.
how
in
I,
public
that's
with-
how I treat my iPhone case too. I take off my iPhone case if I'm taking my phone in the shower.
Yeah, for sure.
To be clear, I'm not a phone in the shower user, but if I were, the case would be coming off.
I'm just saying. Do you guys like wash your phone? If that makes sense.
Do I wash my
clean
phone?
I
it?
wipe it down. I don't.
Oh,
wash
I
it.
actually like soap it up and clean it.
Yeah, no, that's kind of crazy. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Well, there's a reason behind that. So, like, when I'm working on my house in the weekends, it's getting really dusty and dirty and crap like that. My watch too. So I just wash with soap and stuff. Am I saying I'm doing that just because? No, there's actually good reason for it. But beyond that, I would do like a wipe that's sanitizing wipe or whatnot to clean it that way. But I do it for that case, if that makes sense. But it's one of those things that we probably should be doing that anyway. That's a complete side topic. Back to
Your
the fold,
phones are
though.
disgusting.
I think we're all in agreement here, and I guess my opinion might change when I see it, but will I still be getting it? No. It's a lot to ask to have Apple just do that so right the very first time, because you got to think about it. Google that made the Pixel. Their OS just had countless issues with their Fold. Samsung had issues with just engineering and all this other stuff to begin with. Is Apple going to do it right the first time? They've had this in production for many, many years. We're going to see it probably delayed this year, but maybe this year we'll see it. I mean, do you think out of the box this is going to be what people have been missing in a Fold at launch? And not just being Apple sheep, just what's your honest opinion with that? Because I want to know.
I think Apple will wait until they can do it. I think at this point, like they've waited so long. Like I'm with you. I don't think they can put out a Fold without it knocking it out of the park. Like they've chosen
they have
not
to.
They've chosen not to, and to even use your question to sort of transition us to the next thing we're going to talk about, right? Samsung's ready for a Z Fold 8. Like we're talking number 8 for the company that is actually like doing this relatively well. People are buying them. And Apple's going to come out with the one. And let's say Apple comes out with the first one and Samsung's at their 10th iteration. Apple can't afford to have something that feels like a first version. But Apple usually doesn't do that, right? Like Apple usually waits until they can do it right. We just talked about their glasses, right? We all have high expectations of them because they let other companies do it, and now they're like, oh, now it's our turn to like get in the market. Watch how we do it, and we like watched you guys be our beta testers. So I expect them to do the same thing with their Fold, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they will and that they'll get it right, because you're right. There's all sorts of things you find out when users start poking around.
Yeah. When it's their daily driver, it's one thing to have someone test it, but if this is what they have for the device, it's a whole different conversation. And here's the other part of it, too. There's one category where when Apple does something, they just can't get it right. That's AI. And that's a discussion for this podcast, too, we'll go into, but it's just one of those things that they're not always right about everything They try their best, and this is any company, right? They have these great intentions. Things happen during manufacturing or the software side of things. So I have high hopes, but I also think we're going to say, well, you could have done a little bit more with it. You could have done this. You could have done that. For this price point, I expected this, right? So we'll see how it's going to pan out. And, are they going to throw like an M series chip in this thing because it's going to be their, you know, beast of a phone? These are good questions. I don't know yet. But we should go to the next topic, though. We've been a lot in the folds.
Would you this is just super random here. Would you buy an M series phone and a MacBook Neo and just swap your chips depending on how you use case?
Boy,
If you're buying an M series folded phone and a Neo, I'm going to have questions.
Here's the thing, though. If there's going to be an iPhone that has an M series chip, I will expect it to be the Fold. That's what I would say. Now, am I saying it's the latest M5? Probably not. But man, if they can bring an iPhone chip to a Mac, why can't they bring, a Mac chip to an iPhone? That would be kind of a very twisted way of doing something. Guys, we took an iPhone chip, put it in a Mac. Now we're going to throw a Mac one into an iPhone, and that would work out actually very well for him. But here's what I'll say, and we brought this in the podcast: the Neo. I was pleasantly surprised in how wonderful that device is. We said this countless times, and I just can't believe it. I just did not think that was going to be so powerful of a device. That's just completely off topic, but Quasey, do you want to take the next one, or who is
so
next?
while we're on the topic of folds, right? Like Chase was saying, Samsung's getting ready to announce number 8. Right?
I don't know how that's possible in my head.
Well, they've been doing it for 8 years.
Jeez.
Yeah, the reason it's not possible in your head is because you've seen like 12 in real life, right? You've seen maybe 6 people own them, and each of those 6 people had to upgrade because it didn't last very long. Because you keep folding it, and then all of a sudden it doesn't work anymore. But I mean, this is nothing to hold your breath about, right? It's not that interesting. There's not too much going on with the new Galaxy Z Fold 8. Like I'm be honest with you, we're not seeing any crazy leaks. It's not getting any super new high end chip with super great cameras or anything. It's a fold. It's a relatively minor refresh. So unless there's just like some feature, maybe it comes with the new privacy screen, right? That'd be really cool. I don't know if you saw, Chase, but Samsung did this privacy screen on the latest S26, and it's actually like it's a really cool feature. I'll be honest. Like I think it's
people
really
are saying
cool
there's issues
feature.
with it, though. It's
People
not
are
working as
idiots.
issue.
No, those people accidentally turned it on and couldn't figure out how to turn it off. People are idiots.
I'm more saying not that the idea sucks. It's implementation. They're seeing bugs and glitches where it's like it'll flash on and off and other weird things. It's more of a software side of a thing. My guess is, but I want to bring this up. As Quasey just mentioned, we see with not just Samsung, even with Apple and various other companies too, when there's a new device every year, it's usually a minor change with software and or hardware. Do you guys think that we should get back to a state or go to a state where maybe we don't get a phone launch every year but every other year?
See, I feel like you keep asking that question, and my answer is always going to remain the same. I don't think it's worth it to not have an upgrade every year, right? Because people, especially the shareholders want to know that what they're putting their money into is actually producing things on a yearly basis. And not everybody is upgrading every year, right? I didn't upgrade my phone this last year, right? I stayed with my 16 Pro, mostly because I didn't like the aluminum, but other people still, dude. I have a friend who still has an iPhone 8. Right? I've been telling him it's time to upgrade. It's almost 10 generations ago, right? But when he does upgrade, he's gonna see a massive increase in what phones can do. So my grandmother has a 14. I'm not telling her to upgrade to a 16 right now, but she upgraded from a 7 and she's never looked back. You know what I mean? This was
Okay,
a couple years ago that she
that's a bit
upgraded.
different. Chase,
I will say, I think the point stands though that with the current structure, it leaves it in the hands of the consumer to upgrade. And here's what I mean. I know an upgrade. I know a phone's coming every year. I upgrade every other year. Right? That's just what I do. Like, that's enough time to justify the money for me to go from one to the next.
Because it's
And
$1,000.
yeah, it's expensive. Right? Now, do I think we could get away with not having a phone launch every year? Yeah. Do I think we could potentially go back to the days where we had like the S? Like we're gonna just we're gonna admit this is a refresh and not a whole new phone? Sure. But I also think that was like not the greatest model either, because it was like clear. I mean, that's what they're doing kind of now, right? Like it's just sometimes it just feels like a refresh. I think having a new phone every year has its benefits from a company perspective. They're clearly improving. They're clearly making a change. They're clearly like moving forward. And they leave it in our hands if we want this year's phone. And they don't expect us all to go buy an iPhone this year. But we know that every fall into early winter, I could get the new one if I wanted it. So I don't have a problem with a new phone every year. I do think the major hiccup in that is every year we kind of go, and we made some minor tweaks, yay. Like it kind of takes the air out of it a little bit, which is why most of us or many of us don't need a new phone every year, because the tweaks just aren't enough. So you have to wait 2 or 3 to like feel like the $1,000 is worth your time,
Yeah.
in my opinion. But part of the releasing every year allows it to be my opinion of when it's worth the money to do that. So I don't have a
Here's
problem
what I
with
wanted-
it, but I do think it kind of undercuts the like excitement a little bit, because every year it's like, cool, we got like a slightly better camera and a slightly better chip, and the iPhone looks the same.
here's why I bring this up. So I know that Apple makes a good chunk of money every single year from an iPhone sale, right? We're not going to say it's not the case. But I do not think for a second that if I don't purchase, or the masses do not purchase one every year, they're going to cripple as a company. Because you got to keep in mind, there's software as a service offerings, plus, the App Store, Apple Music, everything else, is also a humongous generation of money for them, right? So you have to keep that in mind too. So I think there is a very high possibility if they go to it every other year, it'd be better for them as a whole. Here's why. It just feels like to me that, you look into the aspects of what it takes to make a product, like an iPhone, the software side, the hardware, the manufacturing, everything. To me, it feels rushed. Like if you think about right now we don't make phones for a living, right? We don't do this at all. We're not engineers. But to have the idea to put into place, to make it as a prototype, to test it, and to ship it, it seems to me like a 1-year time span for that is just not enough time. So then you will have, as a result of that, a lack of features, innovations, and new things, because that is a short window of time for anybody. I don't care if you're doing this for millions of years. It's not. We're seeing the results of that. Like when you go from an iPhone 16 to a 17, it's not monumental in changes. And I'm not faulting anybody for this. I'm more saying it's just the time frame is just not enough.
I'd
It can't
argue
be.
that this year going from a 16 to a 17 was actually one of the biggest changes, because on the 16 you didn't have that 120 hertz refresh rate. Right, you got a lot more AI features. They changed the camera. Like the 16 to the 17 was actually a huge jump this year. But to that point, I think that Apple is intentionally holding back some features
Yes.
so that they have things to give to the next year. Because it's not like their engineers are just sitting there twiddling their thumbs. They're actually putting in the work and
No,
coming out with a lot of stuff.
I'm not saying that they're not. What I'm saying is this, like, the idea of what they're going to put into the next phone is probably already done. They probably have this all worked out. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying to even put that into a device in 1 year and make sure that it's ready to go for the population, it's a lot of work. Like, think about every little thing that goes into it. There's a lot of different teams working together. There's a lot of different parts you only have to take in consideration, even packaging, everything else. And then making, millions and millions of devices and then shipping them overseas with a storm or whatever to make it just available for you. Like, I wonder what we would see as an outcome if we waited, where that year's time is just for R&D or just for prototyping, and then they wait till September of the following year to actually put in production, do whatever, right? That way we can see a big change from year to year. And I'm not saying that I'm sick of the small changes from Apple. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying, what could they do in 2 years that they do now in 1 year? Is that going to be a more change that is just so well thought out and so well put together that you're like, my gosh, I cannot believe this phone is this much better? Do you see what I'm getting at? Do you think if they had more time, they'd make a better product? That's what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah, again, I just don't think it's due to lack of time. I'm sure because they're not developing the new iPhone 1 year in advance, right? They're already working on the iPhone 20 right now as we speak, right?
Well, but the idea of what they're doing with it is just a small part of it. I do not think that they have the iPhone 20 ready to go in their head, right? I mean, the CADs or whatever, that they are even close to 50% of the way to get it on the shelves. They still make the phones probably starting right now and then to June, right? That's when they're being made, and then again shipped overseas and whatever. So even that process, I mean, it's really taxing. Look at some of these factories that make these products. They're rushed. It is a very intensive process. It's not like they can make a phone from start to finish in the factory in even a day probably. It's just it's so much to do. And to do it at that big scale, is that part of the reason why we have some issues with not having enough in stock for launch? Manufacturing defects or this. I just wonder if they had more time for that and it wasn't so rushed, would they be a better product? I'm saying the same thing over and over again. I'm sorry.
So I looked them up, right? I'm looking at timeline. I'm looking at iPhones, right? So back in the era of let's just go back for a minute. I'm gonna go way back here. You have an iPhone 6 in 2014. In 2015, they put out a 6S and the 6S Plus, which was a minor refresh to the existing. And then in March of 2016, so half a year later, they put out the iPhone SE. And then finally in 2016, so that's 2 years later, we got the iPhone 7, right? So they're putting out phones in the middle, but they don't consider them to be full rebrands. If you want to look at the iPhone 6 and the iPhone 7, not that different. Different, but not monumental. And here's why I bring this up. Because you can keep scrolling, and you find that whether it was a year, whether it was a couple of years, they put out the iPhone 10 or the iPhone X, depending on which language you want to try to speak. And then they put out the S the next year, and then also the R in the same time frame. They did this whole thing. And then we get to 11 and there's another refresh. And I think that even in the era where they were not admitting that it was a full new phone, that we still weren't getting major changes. And we still weren't getting these giant things. And so my hesitation to agree with you is purely that Apple's history proves that whether or not they're going to do it in a year or in 2 years or in 3 years, which they've never waited that long, but maybe in their early days they were waiting that long. But I just don't see a world where them waiting is going to make a bigger change, or at least not big enough that we go, you could have just given us that in a year. My fear is that if they would go, hey, we're going to wait, and we're all okay, then we better get a big change, that we're going to still get the camera upgrade with the chip upgrade, and it's pretty much the same form factor, and they're going to make some flashy video to tell us why aluminum's better than titanium this year.
The only difference is this. Yes, the gap was 2 years for the actual, like you said, 6 to 7. but there was iPhone releases in the middle of that. Whether or not it's the SE or the R series of that, there's still iPhone releases. I'm talking about they make the 18, right? There's no SE or R in the middle between this. And now there's a 2-year gap of no iPhone releases until that second year, where they just have that time to do the whole thing. No small changes with the other series of iPhones. That's what I'm talking about. That is a difference. Even though those small change iPhones in between the 6 and 7 came out, that team was still working on that, which I'm not sure if it's the same team who does the 6 or the 7. That's a good question. It probably is. My guess is. But that's what I'm saying. That does take them away from the actual 7 series product in the long run. So does that change anything? We haven't seen that with Apple. I guess that's my point. We have not seen them take 2 years off to do this. It's always been a year. And there's really a big push, I'm guessing, from investors and from the consumers to do this every year for every product line. You know? Maybe not the AirPods.
I don't know.
Because
They don't upgrade every model of the iPad every year.
No, that they don't. I'm talking about their big, you know, people want to see brand new AirPods every year. They want to see a new phone. They want to see now a new Mac every year. There's a big push for yearly releases now at this point. And
I think that people get
be.
frustrated that the MacBook is just getting a chip refresh most years.
Well, what would you change about the MacBook?
Well, I
It's
guess
a
my question is
computer,
but there's been like all these small refreshes to a MacBook too, and I think that everyone's like okay with it because they want to get the new chip, right? Like they want, and so it's not a new form factor. Now we're talking about a laptop, like you're right. Like how different of a form factor can we really be talking? But it's like even go pick up a Neo and tell me it's not just still a MacBook. Right? Like, but people love their MacBook, right? So, I don't know. What sweeping change do we expect, I guess, is my question. Like, we got the iPhone Air this year. That was a pretty big change in form factor in the sense that they were like, we'll give you thin and, like, less battery if you want to do that. And I've seen, like, they're a sharp phone. Like, it's slick. And if the battery was the same, if battery wasn't a question mark, I think it would have sold awesome. But it's just like they already made like a newish thing this year, and it's like was it necessary? Did they need to do that? Did that development take away from what they could have put in the regular phone? I don't know.
It's a good question.
It's something Apple has not proven to us to ever have done well is the large scale, like a new product, sure. We didn't have anything to compare a Vision Pro to. We didn't have anything to compare AirPods Pro to, right? Like, we had AirPods, and then they made Pro, and it's a different thing. They made Pro Max. They made AirPod Max. Those are a new thing, right? Like,
yeah, I guess if you look at that, there's so little changes with the AirPods Max. New chip, USB-C, new colors.
I feel like little is even like, I feel like you're giving it a little bit too much credit.
This is the last point I'll make on this, I think. We're talking out of two ends of our mouths, or out of our minds here a little bit. I don't want Apple to put out a Fold until it's awesome, but then I need them to make major changes every year. If we're waiting for them to put out something till it's awesome, shouldn't it be timeless? Like, I think Apple is doing the thing where they go, this is the iPhone, and this is how it works, and you guys love it. What am I going to do? I'm going to screw it up? No. This is the MacBook. You guys love it. People are buying it. I'm going to give you... Now, they gave us an awesome new budget version, which is a new way to look at it. It's still just a MacBook. It's still just a laptop. We love an iPad, right? They have all these versions of an iPad. The main difference is the newer iPad you have, the better performance it's going to have. But the form factor is the same. Like, I don't need them to reinvent the wheel because people love it. And if we're expecting them to do excellence on try number 1, then we probably can't complain that the excellence is sticking around for the next version and the next version and the next version.
Love that point.
I think it's really hard to look at both ways. Yeah, sure. The AirPods Max that you're wearing right now have not had huge changes. But do you love your AirPods Max?
Do. It's the
Then
first
why on
generation
earth
still.
would we be like, guys, take more time, make more changes? I don't know. Like,
Good
we
point.
love our products. I have them all, pretty much. I don't have AirPods Max, but I have AirPods Pro. I have an iPhone Pro. I have an iPad. I have a MacBook Pro. At work I use Studios and Mac Mini. Like, I use all of their stuff. And
This guy's just flexing on everybody.
I'm not flexing. I didn't buy most of these things. I am blessed to work in IT, essentially, right? Like I work in AV production, so I get this stuff, I have to use this stuff. But I use all that and I go, I love it. I don't need them. Like, they're knocking it out of the park on the first try. And honestly, the only reason that we're upset about it is because we're bored.
Well, and that's the thing. I guess here's this. Do you ever have this happen? Because we know an Apple product is not really cheap for the most part. If we get the Pro series of anything, right? MacBook Pro, so on and so on. Do you ever have this happen where you're like, okay, I just bought the brand new MacBook Pro. I decked it out in specs. It's almost $5,000. It's great. And then next year is a new one. Do you ever get in your head like, I spent this much money, and now I feel like I'm missing out on what I could have? Do you ever have that?
Right there. If you remember when the M4 Pro came out, I was feeling a little bit of resentment like that. And I was sitting in IT and I was working that day and I decided, you know what, my chip isn't good enough, but I'm going to push it anyway. So I started pushing my chip and I was yet to see the little spinny beach ball, right? Do you know what it took for me to get that beach ball?
Editing software for videos.
I had to open up multiple instances of different editing softwares just to get that. So when you buy a MacBook, all right, you're not buying it with the intention of upgrading every year. That was my mistake. I thought I was going to need to upgrade every year. No, you buy one and you send it, you stick around for your entire college career, maybe longer. I probably won't be upgrading until I'm like 25, and it's really unfortunate because the newer stuff looks cool, right? But what are they really changing? It's only the chip inside, and my chip, the M3 Pro, is better than the M4, but it's not better than the M4 Pro, right? So, it's really unfortunate that I was blind at the time, but I can now see that I'm truly blessed to even have any sort of Mac, right, with an M chip, because these ARM chips are just
That's
they're
wanting
powerful.
to just know Apple is in competition with itself, because they make an iPhone, they make an iPad, they make a Mac, and they make it so well. There are people, and a great multitude, that say, why do I need to upgrade to this new Apple product when this one works just fine? It's so good at what it does. And right now I'm recording an M1 MacBook Pro.
Hmm.
And it works so well. Like, I cannot in my head justify purchasing a new one. I want one.
That's the unfortunate
take
part.
away from that.
Like,
But it works so well, right? And I even have the 2015 MacBook Pro, and that thing to this day is still a beast. So there's also that kind of part of it too.
2015 MacBook Pro. You
Yes.
expect me to believe that today it's still a beast?
Absolutely.
11-year-old computer.
It runs so quick to this day.
Hey, I'm so
You
sorry.
sound
This
like
is
a
completely
PC
unrelated.
user. I don't know how to say it any other way.
But is there like
In my
storm
lifetime,
outside?
I've maybe owned 4 MacBooks since high school. I graduated college 9 years ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, I don't
They're
need a
just-
MacBook
Wow.
every year. I'm
They're
sorry
just
that-
that good.
Yeah.
Did you
But
graduate early?
No,
I
2018,
just
dude.
don't think you look young enough to have you don't look old enough to have graduated 9 years ago.
Hate to break it to you, I turned 30 next month. So
What? I would have
So
never
if you want
thought.
to talk about, if you want to, I just
would've
don't think you
never
get to talk to Adam and I about how long a MacBook can last.
Hey, that's on me.
Because we have
I didn't realize I was in the
MacBooks. We have
room with-
MacBooks from middle school. When you were in middle
Yeah.
school, I had a like.
You're right.
You weren't
Yeah,
born when
it's
I had
so
my first
true.
MacBook, probably. So
Yeah,
like, what are we talking about?
This is entirely true.
All I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Wow.
Now, we just talked about how Apple doesn't like to drop things without it being awesome, right? But they did drop something that wasn't awesome and has never been awesome. And it's their AI.
Good segue, Chase. Go ahead.
Right?
Oh, there we go.
Like, so much so that the guy who's in charge of it is no longer going to be working for them.
Yes.
The AI leader for Apple, done. And honestly, the article to me cracks me up. Here's how I read the article, and I'm gonna butcher it. You ready? Apple is waiting to make this move until it made sense in the investment calendar. They have been holding this guy for like consulting because it wouldn't make sense for investing reasons to do it yet. And now it's like, well, here's the window. Bye. Sorry, this product has sucked. It can't even talk to ChatGPT well.
Oh my goodness.
You ever used it? And it's like, I can't answer that. Would you like me to ask ChatGPT? And I'm like, yes, I would. And it's like, sorry, your internet doesn't work. And I'm like, I'm like, what do you mean my internet doesn't work?
It happens to
You're
me
working.
too. You know,
it doesn't make any sense.
Here's what shocks me.
Here's one thing it does well, and it's the only thing. It integrates with my computer well. In the sense of I use proofreading and rewrite and that kind of stuff all the time because it's right there at my fingertips.
I'll give it that.
You want me to tell, if you want to make an argument to me that they made Siri better, Siri was never good and Siri isn't good now. Right? Thank
Absolutely
you for
true.
giving me 1,000 voices to choose from, but Siri's still an idiot and can't help me.
Thing.
And I'm like, Siri, I'll ask Siri a basic question. I need to stop saying its name because it's going to start thinking I'm talking to it. And I'm not, because I never am. Right? You know, half the time I'm like, can you start a timer? And it's like, maybe. Like basic functions on my phone and my watch. And also, just like, you know how many times that I have multiple devices hear me say it, and because they all think the other one's going to do the job, they all just stop? They're all like, your phone and your watch and your computer all heard you say that. None of us are going to listen. And so I could rant about Apple AI for a long time.
Me too.
And the reality is, I don't think Apple needed to do it. And Apple felt the pressure. Now, Apple, maybe slow your roll a little bit and get it right. I think they just overpromised what it can do. And I just want, like, Copilot is doing what Apple AI should be doing. You start talking to Copilot now, because I work in a Microsoft house. I don't love Copilot. Copilot doesn't do a lot of things well, but you know what it does do well?
What?
It reads my emails and my calendar and can use all that as context clues to answer my questions. Apple, where's the functionality in knowing what my text messages say and all this stuff? I believe in your privacy. You're keeping it on my device. Read my stuff and tell me and use the context to help me remember things. Hey, was I supposed to be doing something this Friday? And you should go, yeah, you talked to so-and-so about getting lunch with them on Friday. I hope you remember that. And it's like, oh, thank you. I totally forgot. It's 11 a.m. on Friday. I need to get my crap together. Like, Apple, help me. Like, help me live a better life rather than just saying, we made Siri better and you didn't.
Here's one thing that shocks me to date. Apple usually does a very good job at, like, developing, testing, and launching a product for the most part, right? I just cannot believe that time and time again, when there's so much feedback that Siri sucks, that they ship a new version of Siri and think it's going to be really good, and they still fail us. Mind you, Craig Federighi is a software guy at Apple. He's the one that improves and ships software. Just do not get in my head why he is approving this, along with this guy that's departing, John. He's got a weird last name, I'm not even trying to pronounce it. Why this is getting pushed and improved so badly. There's only one thing I can think in my head that makes this get pushed so fast. Investors are really hounding them to do it now. I don't care if it's ready. I want it out now so we can see it and we can try to use it and try and get it improved. But at the same time, it doesn't make sense to promise something and to deliver nothing time and time again. Air power, it was promised, never got it. It might come back, doesn't matter. The point is this. This is not the Apple that I know. They take time to make things right when they launch something. Except this. It's treacherous. It's so bad. It might be the worst AI in market currently.
All right. We were rapping on them, but treacherous and worst AI in the
Treacherous.
market. I promise you, it's not the
I
Well,
worst
can I
AI
say-
in the
Hey
market.
Siri, and it doesn't
Okay.
listen at all.
Okay,
You just
wait.
need to
That
retrain it to your
happens.
voice. Go ahead, Chase.
Okay, wait. We talk about how the AI sucks. But does the software suck? Will be my question. And here's why I ask.
Like
Siri
iOS.
Siri does hear me. Apple AI does integrate with my OS. Shortcuts work. It operates when I need it to operate. It just doesn't produce answers that are worth my time. So I could make the argument that from a software perspective, it's fine.
Yeah,
It works. Actually, from a software perspective, they might have made Siri more functional.
It tries
Like
its
I'll
hardest,
sit here,
guys.
I'll sit here and say it, but if I ask it things, it doesn't know what the crap to tell me.
Okay, have you
And
used it for
especially in
like
a world where I can
making
like
a
talk
text?
to Chat GPT and it's like conversational. Like Apple, you have to figure out a way to close the gap and make Siri conversational. The fact that Siri can't remember the last thing that I asked it and build off of that is still a wild thing to me. It's never done that well. Like I should be able to ask a follow-up question. Actually, I should just be able to find the last question I asked in an easier way, rather than it disappearing into the ether.
I think for me, the results suck a lot. That's for sure happening. But to even get to results for me is a huge pain. Watch and learn. Hey Siri. Damn, it worked. That function typically never works for me. And you know when it does work? When I say "Hey Siri" to my dad's phone, my wife's phone, when I said it. My HomePods, I could be next to it, almost hugging it, and it doesn't listen well. Turn off my lights, never works.
I just think you got to retrain it to your voice because mine did that when my voice started getting deeper, and
But
I
I
just had to
have.
retrain it.
Like
showing your age
it
again?
gets so bad. It needs to be better at the base of functions. That's what I'm trying to say. But then once Chase said, the results. When I tell it to send a text to somebody, first off, I'll say Bob, and it says, "You mean John?" No,
Oh,
send to Bob.
that gets on my nerves.
Or which Bob is it going to be? Or it'll just send it, and I didn't even tell it to send it. That could be very bad for certain people, whatever it sends, right?
Oh yeah.
I'm just saying, like, there's too many inconsistencies with Siri, and I'll have to be the first to admit, like, they could do so much better. And like, why is it so inconsistent? Why does it not work for me, but for Chase and Quasey it works great? Why is another third-party person that's never heard its voice in its life, and I'll hear, like, I'm at the help desk window, and they say, "Hey Siri," and it works on my watch and my phone better than it does my own voice. I've retrained it. It doesn't make it better. I don't know what it is.
But when you retrain it, are you saying it how you would say it, or are you saying it
Yeah,
like how?
I make
are you
sure
reading it?
I'm not
All right,
underwater
Quincy,
when
you're
I'm
just
saying
picking
"Hey,
on
Siri."
Adam now.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I
I
will
go
say-
the extra mile for it, and I find myself yelling at Siri more than I should. I'm verbally abusing it, and I don't need to do that.
Yeah, maybe it has feelings, and you just need to be nicer to it. But I will say, it really gets on my nerves when it's like, I'll say, here's what got me. The other day, I was walking, right? I had my AirPods in. I said, "Hey Siri, call Jaden," right? Now, I have two very important Jadens in my life. Oh, really? That's really awkward because shouldn't it be in your headphones? How did that happen?
Well, my watch is not on my headphones, and you're like really close by, so
So yeah,
good example.
back to my story. I said call Jaden, right? Now usually when I say call Jaden, she's gonna call Jaden my roommate because I call him quite often. All right. Tell me why it called my friend Jaden who lives in Las Vegas. Right? Now, bad on me because I didn't check which Jaden it was calling, right? But when
But
he
also,
picked
did
up
it
the
not
phone,
ask?
no, it didn't ask. That's what got me.
Because
right?
that's the thing. Like, it should ask, right? Like, if it doesn't
It
know,
should
like,
confirm.
do you know how often other AIs ask me follow-up questions? I'll be like, chat, Copilot, whatever, can you do this thing? And it'll be like, before I do that, can you answer these few questions?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, I can. Thank you for stringing together
Good
thought
idea.
processes to give me the best answer that you can. Like, it's like, do you want, it'll ask you if you want to call their home or work sometimes. And it's like, okay, but you're at the wrong Jaden still.
Yeah, like what's going on here?
Happens all the time. So, I know we're starting to run out of time here, so we'll have to go a little bit faster in the next topics. But this person was fired, so at least Apple's making it known that what they're doing is not right, and they're trying to improve. And this is one step towards that.
This is true.
Now, I think one day we'll get there. I think it's just so much more than they anticipate when they try and make this, and they're learning it the hard way. It's not easy to make an AI from scratch. It just isn't. That's the thing. A lot of others have had years to do this. So has Apple, but it's a whole new category for them as a whole. So we have to realize that too. So much as I bash it, I hope one day it's just going to be way better than it is now. And I hope it will. So,
Okay. Hey, Adam, completely unrelated. Yesterday I got a charge for my YouTube Premium, and it said $8.99. Why is it
well, mine's even more
It's
because I
getting
have
on
the
my
YouTube
nerve.
Premium family.
Moving forward, we're just gonna segue really quick. Did you know that YouTube Premium is getting a price increase?
It has occurred. It's not
Yeah,
getting it. It's happened.
it actually already hit me, right?
Do you have it,
So,
Chase?
Chase, I can't believe this. You watch YouTube with ads? Hold on. Backtrack. Did you know that YouTube has 90-second unskippable ads on your television?
Yep, I'm aware.
How can anybody sit through that? Oh my God. It's actually, that's atrocious.
And not just one.
I can sit through it to not spend $9.
In the grand scheme of things, this $9 is useless to me compared to how much time I'm saving not watching ads. 90 seconds of unskippable ads for a 20-minute video? YouTube, are we serious?
It's a lot.
Are we for real?
Okay, but are you upgrading every streaming service you have to the non-ad version?
Yes.
If you keep up with the podcast, you know.
Are you? Here's my question. That's not $9.
Rocket Money doesn't like what I do with it, but
yeah, most money people wouldn't like what you're doing with it. I hate ads too. I
don't think you understand, Chase.
And we know the amounts that Adam has gone to get away from ads, right? I think ads are the worst, right? Do you know how many apps on my phone I just delete because I try to play a game and after level 2 it puts an ad? Immediately deleted.
Right there with you.
Dude, so I guess, you know what? Apple Arcade is my YouTube Premium. If you wanna like because I'm not paying, do not slow my roll with an ad, right? I'm not over here trying to tell you that I shouldn't, YouTube Premium has probably just been a laziness of I didn't sign up for it, right? That it's not a matter of do I like ads, but come on,
here's
how much
thing.
money do we have to pay to not have ads? It's just
it's expensive. But here's the thing I will say, to justify it, we have to also realize what YouTube is as a beast. You're getting content delivered to you from different creators, and when you're not paying for it, that is so much of a cost for YouTube to maintain this platform. And I just looked up yesterday. Did you know that YouTube has hundreds of exabytes of storage of all of the content? That is a whole lot of data. And there's CDNs to deliver it to you like it does, and does it very well. It's insane. So I'm not trying to just boast on YouTube here. I'm more just trying to say there might be a good reason why there's ads, right? So just know that. Number one. Number two, I can't stand ads so much. I just, because here's the thing. It used to be a 30-second ad here. Okay, it's whatever. But when you're watching a video that's 10 minutes and 3 or 4 minutes of that is ads that you can't skip and that just take you away instantly from the content you want to watch to show this ad that you just don't want to watch, but you cannot stop it with ad blocker or whatever else you have. That to me gets so annoying. If a website that I go to has a pop-up that says you have an ad blocker, you should disable it so you can view this content, I never go to that site again. I get it costs money to make your platform run. I understand that. But you can do it in other ways where I'm not taking away from the content to see this stupid ad. I hate that. As we know as Americans, and most people, our attention spans are so small. So if I'm watching them, I'm into it. I'm in the zone. I'm watching it, and all of a sudden, pop, distraction. I can't stand that. To me, it's like if you're at a stop sign and someone puts a big flyer for a BOGO at Chipotle on your windshield. Now I can't drive because now my content, my viewing experience is paused and disrupted. I hate that. So it's always going to happen. Price increases will happen. It costs more to run the platform. But at the same time, I can't stand ads. There's only one platform and one thing that I listen to ads with. That's our podcast. Other than that, though, I can't
I don't
say
even
as
like
a
the
whole.
ads there. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't even like them there.
Especially when now we have the same ad playing like 4 times. You're like, I'll never get this in my life, and the jingle sucks. So I don't want to bash them too much, but at the same time, it's like, come on. But like, at the same time, I get people who don't want to pay that atrocious fee to not have ads. I get that. But to me, like I watch YouTube so much, I just don't want to see the ads and just be able to watch my content with no issues. And that's me. That's just me.
I think the only reason that we're complaining about the YouTube premium costs is because YouTube does exist for free. And here's what I mean. If you compare YouTube as a content source compared to a Netflix or a Disney Plus or a Hulu, there is so much content. And if you just had to pay to get in, now, it wouldn't have the content it has if people just had to pay to get in, right? But you're paying to have a comparable experience to those others with the content that YouTube provides. In which sense, the price is fair. They're pricing themselves like a streaming company. The only reason, not the only reason, the primary reason that that's frustrating is because the content is already quote unquote free. So you're not paying for the content, you're paying for how easily you're able to access the content, which makes the price seem ridiculous, right? If Disney Plus was like, you can watch all you want, but you're going to have to watch 4 minutes of ad per episode, which is kind of what it already is with their lower tier anyway. Because YouTube, I wonder if we're only complaining because YouTube has already given us what other companies are making us pay for free. And so now we're over here wondering if their price to have no ads is too much. And they're like, well, we're just making you catch up, right? So, because I mean, $9 a month, like, what's Netflix with ads right now? $8 or $9 a month?
Not more.
I'm just saying, like, I think you can, like,
34.
Netflix released their with ad version, and I think it's $8 a month or something like that. Maybe it's 10. But
yeah,
yeah,
I get it.
Plans range from $8.99 to $26.99 for Netflix, right? So it's the same price, and you're watching all your content with no ads. So
and less of it too. YouTube has far more content.
Correct. It's technically amateur content, right? Technically. Now, we all know that there's content that is very well produced, and that's not my point. But it's an amateur platform in comparison to a Netflix or a Disney Plus. But you don't have to pay just to get to the content, so I think it is, I mean, we're bummed that we're paying so much money for an ad blocker is what we're bummed about, but that's just because YouTube's offering what they have for free.
True. It's very true. Okay, let's go to the next topic.
Wait, hold on. Let me just let the people know what the increases are. So from the regular subscription, you're going from it's now $15.99 a month, and it was $13.99 a month, or $139 a year previously. For the family plan, the monthly price is going up to $26.99, which is up from that $22.99 that it was, and then the discounted student plan, which I have, only raised by $1 from $7.99 to $8.99, but it still kind of caught me off guard. It was kind of crazy to me. But to the next topic.
Okay, Chase, do you want to start this one off?
We're talking
This
about
will be a quick
Rockstar
one.
Games. Yeah? Rockstar Games. There's a data leak. And not only is there a data leak, they're being hacked. They're being hacked and held for ransom.
That's not just a data leak.
That's what I'm saying. Like they are fully caught with no. They got nothing that these people don't have.
Here's the problem.
They have been hacked and they are in, and they are getting held at ransom.
Digital
ransom out here.
They are
actually,
not
real
just
life
getting
ransom
held.
for digital data.
As of this morning, they leaked it because Rockstar did not pay him. Just as an update. So the only thing I'm going to say about this too, before we get too much into it, is we have seen so many delays with GTA 6. Why would you, even as a hacker, make that potentially a longer delay? At this point, they should just let the leaks happen.
Money.
No, I get that.
For money.
I understand.
What do you mean potential delay? They should have released the game.
They're making $1 million a day with GTA Online, which is insane amount of information to have from this leak. But it's like, okay, at the same time, what it sounds like as of this morning, there's no delay in the launch. They're still on track for this fall to be.
They're not going to tell us they're going to delay it.
Yeah,
they did before.
I know, but you can't. In response to this, can you imagine the stock prices at that point? Rockstar Games is like, guys, we got hacked. They've leaked a bunch of our data, and now we're going to delay our game. You may as well just file for bankruptcy and be done. Right? Like you can't go, guys. We've had some hardships, and we're going to delay the game again. Like, no. Come on. I'm just saying, hacking group, I think y'all should double down, and you should have just released the game.
Double down.
I think you should have been like, we're going to release your game that isn't ready yet. We're putting it out. Can you imagine?
It's probably ready. I feel like the only thing that they're probably polishing is like maybe the text, right?
It's been content ready for the last 3 months, just so you guys know, which means the campaign and everything is content ready and it's ready to be released. They are just going through the bug interface right now, and they are currently making, I think they're finishing up the GTA Online for the game, which doesn't have to come out at launch, by the way. People are going to want that for sure, but the game itself is going to offer so much that they can wait a little bit longer for that. That's okay.
Well, it has a release date now, right?
Yeah.
It's supposed to come out November 18th.
Yeah, in fall of 2026.
Well,
yeah. I mean, there's still time for a delay, but I'm just saying, hopefully there's no, they cannot do another one. Take-Two Interactive, if you're listening, nothing. I mean, a fire didn't stop them, mind you, for the main studio that's making the game. Just so you know, they came back and they were fine. So it's like you just stay on track and just make it happen. Okay, I don't want to put too much into this. I just want to let you guys know that they were hacked. They should probably do some better security measures. This is the third time they've been hacked. And they should make sure the game is ready to be released this year, and that's about it. So, just so you guys know.
Yeah. And prepare your wallets, because we know that the game is going to be quite expensive.
Nah, they weren't paying ransoms. They got enough.
Yeah.
They're not paying their ransom. I ain't paying them more money for no game.
They haven't had that income boost yet.
Speaking of expensive,
yeah, that's where I was going.
This is a small topic, so it's okay. It's okay. Hey, Quasey, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, so if you ever go to Best Buy, you'll see like the Lenovo Legion 2, and it's a pretty cool little nifty handheld, right? Then you look at the price and you're like, oh, $2,000. Well, now it's no longer just $2,000. It's sitting at a pretty $2,800 or $2,850. I'm sorry, I do this every time. I can't read numbers. $2,850 for the 2 terabyte model. Absolutely insane.
Right? Well, with the current prices of Raymond stuff, that's a bit excessive.
That is but
it's also almost double what it started selling at.
Yeah.
Right, like we're at double like the launch price.
It's 92% higher than what it was at $1,370. Not that this device is super popular to begin with. I mean, it's selling quite well, but not like, I would say the ROG's probably sell a little better than this in the Steam Decks, I guess. I don't know, though. At this price point, it's for sure not going to sell as much as you.
Oh, absolutely not.
Like, I just do not think Chase is on his way to Best Buy after this recording to go buy it. Right? Chase is
I
not.
don't think
No.
any of us are.
Chase is not
No.
buying it.
You just have $2,000 lying around or something. It's just not
I'll have
happening.
to check the couch cushions. Maybe I do. Just kidding. There ain't no way.
All in pennies.
Can you imagine just having $2,000
I'm like-
between the couch cushions?
You pull out your couch cushions and you're like, I can spare change a good old Legion Go 2. It's fine.
Imagine getting a used couch and that's in the couch cushion. You get
Oh
no
my
idea.
goodness.
Imagine that.
Greatest thing ever. Like,
Is this
You
Bill
got more
Gates'
likelihood
couch?
finding a Legion Go 2 in your couch cushions than finding $2,000 laying in there. But
It's
like
that's expensive though.
it's true.
it's expensive, but it's to me it's more just about like the constant increase. And I know that technology and RAM and all this stuff is expensive right now. But man, to launch
It's
something at
huge.
a price and then like in that amount of time to be twice as much money.
Yeah.
That's a lot. Just to let you guys know. I mean, there is 32 gigs of DDR5 RAM, the Ryzen Z2 Extreme.
Ooh.
I
I'm
mean,
sorry.
It's,
That was
it's really good specs. Like we can't say it's not good specs, but at the same time, that is.
Why would you need to carry that around with you?
The iPhone Fold might be cheaper than that. Just so you guys know.
This is true.
Might be.
Not saying.
Almost
we don't know.
definitely will.
Might be.
I don't know.
Almost
People are-
definitely.
You
will.
want something that
People
can
are
fold for $3,000? Get a MacBook. Come on now.
Yeah,
Get a
I guess
MacBook
it's-
Neo for $700.
Dude, you can get a decked out MacBook Pro with the Max chip for like $3,000. Like I just don't see
I
why.
know.
See, Chase, you know that's what I'm gonna start telling people. If you want something that's gonna fold for $3,000, get a Mac.
Like, what are we doing? No, you want something that can fold for $3,000? Get yourself an iPad and get the keyboard with it. That'll fold.
That'll do it.
I'm
And
just-
you'll find much more use for that. I promise.
I
you.
know. Right now, we're just picking on Adam for thinking that the fold's going to be $3,000, and he's probably not even wrong. And
Well, no,
I'll
not
say
the
it again.
base
I'll
model.
say it
Let's
again
be
when
clear. Let's be clear. I'm talking about the 2 terabyte model. That's
Yo,
what I'm talking about.
If it comes out at 3,000, I just don't know who's going to be able to look at their wallet, say, "Oh, my budget
There will
for a
be
phone was
people.
$1,600."
I know.
There will be people that have stupid money to
Bill
spend like
Gates?
that.
No,
Jeff
the
Bezos?
Legion Go 2 Pro people.
I don't think Bill Gates
they're
uses
going to
an
have
iPhone.
the iPhone Fold.
I just
It'd be
don't think
great.
Bill Gates
Same
would use
people.
anything but an iPhone. What
Are you kidding me?
phone does Bill Gates use?
I just don't believe that.
Wow.
I cannot
a
imagine.
Fold 4. Disgusting.
He literally owned Microsoft, which is a huge competitor of Apple.
Okay, Fold 4. I didn't say Fold 7. Fold 4. Third richest man in the world, mind you.
He just
Fold
It's okay.
4. I hate when
let
rich
him have
people
it.
try to act
Let him
humble.
have it.
If I was rich,
Let
if I was rich, everybody would know I'm rich. I would be walking, dude. I wouldn't even be driving fancy cars.
And I want you to know this. If that's your mentality, that's probably part of the reason you are not rich.
This is true.
Because people who are normal wealthy, not crazy wealthy, normal wealthy, typically get there by not acting like they're rich.
Mm.
But
Well,
I'm not
So they
trying to
do.
budget you right now. I'm just trying to say.
no, my budget needs help, and that's
I know
why
you're paying for
Monarch-
YouTube Premium, and you're acting like $1 is gonna break
Hey,
you.
Okay, I'm a broke
Sorry that they caught
college
you off
student.
guard because you
All right.
signed some terms and conditions, and they're
Let me
allowed
tell
to
you
do that.
something. I'm a broke college student. I don't have the funds to be paying an extra dollar. When I did my budget for this month, that just wasn't accounted for. You know, now I'm not going to be able to get a slushie at the end of the week.
Maybe
You know what I mean?
you got those headphones,
you have the
Quasey.
budget for, Kwesi? You know what you do have the budget for?
What?
Watching ads.
No, I don't. Let me tell you something, Chase. I put on YouTube right before I go to sleep, right? And I'm watching a video, right? And it'll have somebody talking and explain. So Veritasium is one of my favorite YouTubers, right? And he'll be talking and explaining something in such depth and detail, but he'll also be doing it
While
in
you're not listening because you're trying to sleep?
No.
Quincy, you're not
bores
getting
me
away
to
with this with
sleep.
me right now.
Let me explain this to you. When,
Do not be telling me that
when
you
I
need
was in
YouTube to fall
California-
asleep.
let me
No,
tell
so
you
it's
something.
what you're telling me. No. Hear me out. Hear me out. Here's what I just heard you say. YouTube is required for your daily life and
I
your
cannot
satisfaction.
sleep.
Stop complaining about
I
$1,
cannot
Quasi.
sleep without
You are complaining about $1,
YouTube.
and it is required for you to sleep, dude.
Yes.
You have made it. You have made it
You're
required
right.
for your daily
I gotta
life.
take
It
it
is
back.
invaluable to you. You
Well,
do not get to
it
complain
is
about the price.
invaluable to
That's
me,
what I
but
just
can't
heard you
let
say.
Google know that. If
It's 'cause
Google
you
finds out it's invaluable to me, then my life is ruined.
You know what?
Right? They're
Speaking
gonna
of
keep raising
Google
the price.
value, let's move on. How about that? Speaking of Google value, they are trying to make it so that your old laptop, let's all talk about how we don't need to upgrade every year, right? They're trying to make it so your old laptop can become a cloud-based machine through a $3 dongle, essentially.
$3. That's insane.
$3, right? And you can take your old hardware and essentially make it a Chromebook.
I seen this. I'm like, we gotta talk about it. I don't like Chrome OS as much as most people do.
I don't think anyone likes Chrome OS.
But okay, here let's back up.
I like it for $3 if I can't afford a new computer.
It's
I
really
like buying a
cheap here.
$3 dongle from my grandma.
I'm right
is
there.
what I like.
Here's the other part. At what point is this going to be a more reliable OS than Windows? Hot take. Windows is having a lot of issues. And I'm not saying I hate Windows. I don't like what they're doing with certain updates and how they're just using Copilot to write everything, test a single thing when they release it. Sorry. Let's go on with this, though. For a device that cannot run Windows 11 because of the requirements of Windows 11, it might have all the hardware, might have old everything. This is a solution from Google for $3 to buy a bootable USB, basically, to run Windows Chrome OS. It's a Chrome OS Flex, which is a different variant. It runs right from the flash drive itself, so you're not really even installing it over top of your current OS. This is an interesting little take from Google that I was not expecting, to say the least. That this is a little push for them. This is their way of saying, Windows, I know you have all these restrictions, all these requirements. This is a way to bring that back to life. And it was an interesting, kind of a nice little thing they did that I wasn't really expecting. Now, do I really want this to be not Windows and using this? Maybe I don't. But maybe that hardware that I thought was just going to sit in the corner and rot away can be used again for something, right? To take notes or just go on YouTube or whatever you want to do. There's a use case for Chrome OS. It's not for college, but it's not just a complete useless operating system. Just know that. If your grandma's just going on YouTube or Facebook or whatever, that's all she does, and her computer is from 1982, it still has a floppy disk or whatever, maybe it's going to work. That's an awful example. It might not be that old in support, but I'm just saying as a whole, this is a solution that might be worth our time.
Or so here's another use case, right? I was walking around my church looking for some stuff, and if you've ever volunteered in tech at a church or worked in tech at a church, you know that your greatest asset is to look in every closet. Okay? Because you're going to find stuff everywhere. I went in the back heating closet, and there was HDMI cables, like it had vomited HDMI cables in there from some old project that they decided to move away from, right? Because somebody had an idea, and that's how technology at church works. I tell you this, they have a bunch of old HP laptops because they used to run all their kids' classrooms from laptops, right? And they have since upgraded to new functionality, right? So they don't use these anymore. So what you're telling me is that for, let's say I have 10 of these laptops. For $30, I can say, hey, we're going to start an after-school tutoring program, and if you need a computer that runs Chrome OS to access some stuff, we can make that happen with our old hardware that we already have. And so I can tell you that with a bootable flash drive, for $30, I can have this stuff on some old laptops that still boot up and still work fine, but are not good enough to be running modern Windows software, are probably struggling a little bit to run a full operating system of Windows anyway. But if some kid needs to come in and needs help with their math homework, it can boot up, and get logged into their things. And now, I'm not telling you that this is going to be your daily driver. But I am telling you that I can now provide a cheap solution to a everyday problem that allows for things that are sitting in closets folded up, never to be used because people don't know how to recycle electronics, for one. And now we can use it in a seemingly cheap way. I can kind of get behind it.
I should just clarify something too. You do not have to purchase this exact flash drive to get this. Google does offer this as a zip file right from their website. So if you have your own flash drive or a boot disk, if you want to use that, you can do that as well. That should be very noted for this.
Which just makes it all that much better.
So great. If you're tech savvy, you can do it for free. But if you're not, you can spend $3.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, like $3 for convenience. I am tech savvy, and I might spend $3 to not have to build a boot drive.
I might just do this just for the hell of it, just to see what it's all about. Not on like what I'm currently using now that's supported, but like I for sure have some old laptops that are, have Windows 8 or below that I'm just not going to use for that function anymore. But this might be just to mess with it, right? Like I said, some grandma somewhere might like this because that's all they do. They go on Facebook, YouTube, or whatever, and they don't really live outside the operating system or Chrome or whatever, right?
Or like how many people have old computers? Like I still go to like the not tech savvy person. We all say our grandma, but like let's just say the non tech savvy.
That could be young kids, right? Still, too.
It could be young kids. It could be whatever, who are just getting bogged down by how complicated a full Windows operating system is, whether or not their computer can run it or not. So now I have older hardware that's like takes a while to boot up because like it's just too much operating system for the fact that all I want to do is get on and order something from Amazon and I don't have another way to do it, right? And I want to use my computer. I don't know. I think there's a market for this, and I think that there's some space for it. Like, not everything has to get more technologically complicated, and this is doing the opposite, and they're not trying to make a bunch of money off of us. They are just like, here, it's $3, which is what? The price of the flash drive.
That's really all it is.
I want to go buy a cheap flash drive to make this boot drive myself. I might spend more than $3.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it took me off guard to say the least. The fact that this is free is also nice. I mean, we know that they're going to use this OS to spy on us just a little bit. We can't just make this all about wonderful stuff, but at the same time, it's a great little option for those. And don't forget, there's Linux out there too you can do the same thing with. Don't forget that it's another variant of an operating system that's really quite nice too. But there's just more options for us now. So if you choose to use this, let us know in the comments below because I'm curious to see what you guys think of it. And I doubt you're going to replace Windows or current Mac OS. I don't think you can put this in Mac OS. That'd be crazy if you could do this on a Mac. I don't believe that you can do that.
Definitely not with the chips we have now. But
There's
also,
no way they're going to allow that.
Dude, if you have an older Mac with
does say
boot drive,
upgrade your PCs and Macs to Chrome OS Flex.
If you have an older Mac, you can definitely do it. You used to be able to boot Windows on your Mac.
Wonder what. There's no way they're gonna like let the current.
They won't.
It's not going to be any of the M chips.
You won't be able to do it on an M chip or an A series chip now. Now that a laptop can run
anything else.
And especially because Apple is not at all hiding the fact that the new Neo is pretty much to combat a Chromebook. Like, they're not going to be letting us boot Chrome OS on it. Like, that's crazy. They would they're going to have protections against that. But, I mean, I think this is brilliant. I think it's great.
I agree.
Especially if it's easy to do. If it's easy to boot from that drive and like easy enough that their instructions work that they don't like. Now, the reason this could falter is if I have to spend $3 and then also find someone that knows what they're doing to get this to run, not worth anyone's time anymore. But if they've got documentation in a way that's like, you plug this in and you hit this button, like, just saying, I think it's brilliant.
12, the 2017 MacBook Air, the Pro series up to 2014. So yeah, it doesn't support newer. So there must be a 64-bit AMD processor, ARM not supported. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, yeah, it's a little bit crazy. So that's something I could definitely try in my if I really wanted to, but we'll see. Maybe I will.
I got an old Mac. I could throw it in just to see what it does. Like
I'm
I'd
just
be curious to
curious,
know. Or
Might
build
be
my
worth
own boot
doing.
drive and just see what happens, right? Like
Yeah.
I don't really want to run Chrome OS, but
Me either. But at the
if I
same time,
could
free.
like for free make an old MacBook, which we all were raving about because their specs like keep kicking, and now it needs
Yeah.
to do something that's pretty low needs. I don't know. You could make a really awesome Chrome. You may be able to make a better Chromebook out of an old good laptop than a new Chromebook.
True. All right. Well, we have come to the end of the episode. We want to thank Chase so much for having back on. We've had people ask about you, Chase, and that's not even a joke at all. To
Hey,
see when you
so
come back on.
we've actually missed an entire segment. We have to do our
Oh, that's true. Okay, we have to do this quickly because we're really running out of time. Yes,
yeah.
let's do this quickly. And why? I'm sorry, I just completely just skipped it. Did I not?
Did
I did.
did you just
Okay.
turn down your mic? Am I? Did
You
he
got
turn
quiet
down
on
for you?
us.
Yeah. Okay.
Turn down for what? That's all I'm saying.
I didn't turn it down. I didn't touch that. It's interesting. No, it's literally all the way up. I don't know what it is. It's crazy. Okay, let's go with this really quick.
Okay,
Okay.
Adam, do you want to start us off?
I do. Let's go with my product of the week. And that is the O-Light O-Clip Pro S EDC flashlight. It's kind of like this right here. You can see it. And it's a really, really nice flashlight from O-Light that has 3 modes, 600 looms, it recharges with USB-C, and you have different brightness levels. You can also go into a flashing mode for if you're a runner or whatnot. And you can also do a spotlight mode. This mats in the back, and it also has a little clip to put on a hat or whatever you want to put it on. And this is a very nice little product for really everyday use case. And it goes on like in your shirt and really anything that's really convenient and nice. So that's my product of the week.
All right. Well, Quasi says his. I'm literally going to go grab mine because I have it across the room. So you explain yours. I'll be back.
Mine is going to be this this Ugreen Nextnote power bank, and the reason I put this on here is because I'm actually going to buy this week because for the first time ever, this last week my Mac was at 1%, right, and it was just not a fun situation to be in. I had to run downstairs and ask Adam for a charger. Luckily, Adam has every charger known to mankind, so
I really
it
do.
wasn't like a huge inconvenience. But I just wish I wasn't in that position, so I had to buy something to rectify that situation. It just occurred to me that he has in-ear monitors.
Yes.
That is really cool. I'm gonna get some. I have some in-ear monitors, but they're not like really expensive, so I'm never showing them off. Go ahead, Chase.
Hey, I got all sorts of crap that I don't need to afford. Now here's the deal. Speaking of crap that I don't need, this is my product of the week, and it is not remotely tech related, but everyone should have them. And so this is why. These right here are an Amazon purchase that my fiance bought me. And honestly, I'd have told you that they were goofy and that I shouldn't even have them. But these right here are the Long Bay men's outdoor slipper. Have you seen the shoes that all of the girls wear that look like they're like Ugg shoes?
Yeah.
And they're out here like this right here. I wear this out of the house. Like it has a real outdoor sole on it and it's like memory foam on the inside. You want to wear your slippers out? This is the deal. I had friends. I literally had somebody walk into my apartment and go, "What the heck are these shoes?" And I said, "Put them on your feet." He bought them the next week. He said, "Send me the link." They're like $30 and they're the bomb. They are the bomb.com.
Okay. Oh, let's check those out.
Pure comfort. Obviously, you're not wearing them to work, but like run to the grocery store in the evening. I know we're getting into the summer and it's like the wrong time to be buying loafers for outside, but
it's never the wrong time to be buying loafers.
All I'm saying is, you want to wear your slippers to the grocery store and not feel like an idiot? Here you go.
That's what's up.
Cool. App of the week. Airbnb is mine. I've used this so many times. I like this when you go on trips to find a really nice Airbnb because I like that more hotels at this point. And I like it's so easy and fast. You get your information that you need for your location, how to get there, and communicate with your host and everything else. I just love this, and I've used it for many, many years. That's my app of the week.
All right, my app of the week is going to be GarageBand. All right, as many of you may know, I play the piano. I'm learning the drums, and I'm also going to pick up the bass this summer. But the reason I say GarageBand is because I love. I'm constantly recording myself playing and sending it to some of my mentors so that they can critique me and tell me how trash I am at everything I do. And like GarageBand really helps me out with that. But unfortunately, I've upgraded from GarageBand, so GarageBand is my app of the week just because of what it's done for me in the past.
Okay.
Chase?
All right, my app of the week is the Top Golf app, and here's why.
Ooh.
I just went to Top Golf this last week, and they've made some improvements to their app experience. Couple things that I didn't notice from the last time. The first thing could have been total negligence, and the second thing is in fact new. The first thing, I logged in, and before we got there, I was able to invite my friends, and we were all logged in to the point that I walked in, put my phone number in the bay, and they didn't even have to come talk to us.
Oh, nice.
All three of us were logged in.
Nice.
One of them had not ever been there before, and it didn't matter. All his information was in, and we were done, ready to go. Names were ready. The second thing is they have added in-app ordering to your table via QR code on the table, and it adds it to the same bill for everybody. So I can log into my app, order food. My friend can scan the QR code, order food, it stays on the same tab, and comes to our table. It was way faster than ordering with the person. We weren't interrupted while we were playing golf, and so great on Top Golf for making the user experience well done. It's not that I need to talk to less people, but it was nice that I could do it all in my own timing and not waste time not
play
golfing.
some golf.
People are horrible.
I wanted to hit some golf balls. I don't need someone coming and being like, "Are you ready to order food?" And now my clock is still ticking down. So,
this is true.
Well done, Top Golf.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you all for watching this episode. I know Adam's already out the door, so
I'm still here.
It's all right. So we just want to say thank you guys for joining us in season 2. We know you guys love Chase, so we brought him back. As far as this goes, we hope you guys enjoyed the episode, and it was fun having you, Chase. Thank you so much for showing up.
Thank you. Really
thank
appreciate
you,
Chase.
Adam, for being here as well. Thank you, listeners, for listening, and we will see you guys next week.
Okay. Thanks again. We'll see ya.
See ya.